Good morning, everyone. This is Brad Matheny. Today's the 4th of October. It is a Friday. We made it again to the end of the week. You can see pretty much the week's activity here being very flat overall to the downside. I had projected slightly a trend to the upside. Today we have that downward pattern. We have what's called an up, down, up pattern. I'll show it to you right here. Uh, Whoops, right here. So here is our up, down, up pattern in counter trending mode. We're moving into this base rally and momentum rally weekend. I really think this following week, the week of the 7th through the 11th, is going to be much stronger to the upside. We're just going to have to try to get through today. And you can see that I had where I drawn the lines. Now, I didn't change any of the lines that I drawn, and I shifted them down because prices shifted downward here on Monday and Tuesday after that big Israeli conflict news. We've stayed in this downward trend. It does look like we're setting up some sort of a basing type pattern here. So when you look at this roll in price, and again, I'm just giving you my feedback, guys. It kind of looks like we're getting into this basing pattern, moving into maybe some sort of an upward trend. So next week we have a really strong off this base rally and momentum rally, in my opinion, have a really strong gap up lower, gap breakaway in counter trend mode, carryover, inside breakaway, weekend gap up lower, gap breakaway. And that's in a counter trend mode. So that should be a gap down higher, carryover, and then a temporary bottom. So I really think next week we're going to get into a big rally phase here. But today, this is what I had drawn going down as a moderate downward bar, seen as though we're in this area, meaning we're lower. I think we're going to move into really more of a kind of a sideways moderate, call it a crush. Not really a crush, but just a sideways moderate drift. Okay. Now we had a sell trigger up here. You can see up in this area, we had a sell trigger here. We had a buy trigger down here. Didn't really mature into much. So again, we have this. These were my expectations again, given price action. And so we would still have this sell trigger somewhere down here or up in this area if the price had shifted. So we're looking at weakness into the end of the day today, rolling into a base and possibly shifting into a peak up on Monday. It might be smart to hold some long or some call options over the weekend into Monday, Tuesday, giving you that opportunity to maybe get out over in this area or get out over in this area. Like I said, we've got this rotation. It's been setting up pretty well. Yeah, I mean, I'm going trying to go to a 30-minute here. Waiting on the internet, waiting on the internet. Internet was giving me all kinds of problems yesterday. Had to reset the router. What a pain that was. I don't know if it's just this area or what. I know that other people in care after the hurricane are going through all kinds of trouble, so I shouldn't really be complaining about my router being slow. I probably need to reboot my computer too. But you can see here how we're rolling. We're moving into this sideways trend. And I really think by next week, we're going to roll into, as I showed you here, I think we're going to roll into fairly strong upward trending, moving back to the upside. So we're off on my original predictions. We're down here in this lower shifting pattern. I expect this type of movement here, sideways, probably staying below 570, moving down to maybe 568, 567, basing possibility of a real strong gap up on Monday, moving downward into basing, maybe finding support early and rolling, and then we have a big rally phase potentially on Tuesday. So I think we, given the news this week, I think we survived it pretty darn well. Okay, let's come over and take a look at the QQQ. Wait on the internet again. QQQ 30 minutes, forming a pretty solid base. We had that gapping pattern yesterday. We are up in this area, 483, which is about where I suggested we would likely end yesterday. We may see some news this morning, may get it a little bit higher, but we are very likely moving into this basing mode right over here. So very likely you're going to open up somewhere up in this area here, moving into a sideways channel, maybe finding some support at the end of the day. Okay, not really anything crazy. I think it's going to stay fairly mellow into the weekend today. I think we're really just looking at basing, and then, like I said, that momentum rally. This momentum rally here, base rally and momentum rally, I think is going to change the dynamics next week, meaning we're going to see things shift very broadly into upward trending like we have back over here. Now, if you take a look at the longer term, guys, like I said, I think we move very solidly into rally phase next week. So we should follow these channeling lines here pretty solidly next week. Okay, so let's go take a look at gold. Gold moved higher overnight. Was nice to see. Waiting for all my lines. And we had a nice solid move up to the 2687, almost 88 area last night. You can see right up here, just shy of 2688. That was the level that I projected yesterday for the move higher. So we got it. Today's move for gold is going to be a top resistance. I do believe there's a chance we could get a little bit higher. So again, we'll come back out here to the peak patterns. And I do believe there's a chance we could get a little bit higher. So I'm going to get rid of some of these. I'll just leave these, show you what's going on. So we really have a chance, I think, of seeing gold today, possibly moving up to this 2696 level. It may be a fairly weak potential, but I think it is a potential. And then I think we're going to be looking at potential topping. Remember, we had this early phase topping here. I'm not sure that that's my top reversal. Remember, gold is setting up a top resistance pattern. So I would expect gold to move up, find a peak, and then come back down, giving us that buy here opportunity. Now we could have seen it happen right here. I think though that gold's going to move a bit higher on news today. So I think we're going to see another attempt up at 2687, 2688, maybe 2689. But then, we're not going to probably get up to this 2708 area like I thought. We're probably going to stay right in this 2690, 2688, 2690 area and then roll down into the weekend. Now, into the weekend, we end up going into next week with a consolidation, crush, gap potential, top resistance, consolidation, and temporary bottom. I see this as a little bit more neutral bullish, indicating that we could move into a moderate type of bullish trending here. You see how I've drawn this out. So here's our top reversal coming down. Monday, it's slightly bullish. Tuesday, slightly neutral in the consolidation, then bullish again. So we're really looking at gold potentially making a nice consolidation range here and then moving up and then consolidating and then moving up again into the 2720, 2730 area over the next couple of days. And so we'll just have to see how it plays out And by the way, this week has actually been pretty good overall. I mean, if you take a look at my analysis and what I thought was going to happen on Monday, Sunday, and Monday, it played out pretty solidly. There was 1 or 2 days that weren't quite perfect, but generally the peaking and the rolling, I mean, you can see right here, buy here, sell here, go flat, buy here, sell up over here, buy back over here. This is going to be, of course, Monday, Sunday, and then going up here to this end of day on the Monday, sell here, buy here. I mean, it played out pretty solidly. And the same thing with the SPY. I'll go over here real quick, let it load up. It wasn't a perfect day as far as how it played out, but we had a buy here, sell here, came back down and go flat into early morning trading over here, going flat down into this area. So here we go. We got to sell at the morning and then go flat off the lows. And then, so this was a go flat on the lows here, and sell in the morning, buy back down here, roll back up here, sell up over here, which is pretty much the day that we're at right now. So here we're at the day right here. So I mean, these are the duplicate patterns here. We had a buy here, moving up to the peak into the sell. We had a go flat down here. We had a sell up here, buy down here, rally up into here to get us out, selling early this morning at the highs. So remember, could have bought over here, sold up here off the highs, and then we're looking to move down to this buy area right here, which is going to be at the end of the day today, carrying over into next week. So, I mean, overall, not bad, right? Overall, I think it played out pretty well for a fairly difficult week, really. Okay, so let's come over here. Silver had moved up quite a bit higher. I mean, it's moving better than gold right now, which is good. But again, we need to see this move above this level. So we still have this resistance right up in this area. And I would say again that we need to get above 3250 basically. Once we get above 3250, which may be in the next couple of days, then we're off to the races. And I think at that point, we could see silver make a move very solidly up into the 33.05 area. And eventually, if you're following my research, very cleanly make a move up here into this $34, $35 area. So again, we've got to get above this moderate resistance, and then we've got to get above this 32.75 area. And then from there, we're going to be up in the $33 area, 33.10. And then once we clear all of this, which will probably be in another week or two, I think, then we're going to be moving solidly up into this $34, $35 area. Now, understand that gold is going to be making a move up to the 3,000 area plus. So understand that gold really wants to make a big move up into this 3,000 area, right up over here. Well, actually, it's over here. That's the move higher. So this is what gold is going to try to do up to 2750, 2760 in the intermediate term. But over the longer term, gold is going to try to make this move here up to 2,800, possibly up to 3050 area. So understand that we're really looking at this target area for gold. Longer term, this is what I believe gold is going to try to do. Moving up, possibly running into resistance around 2,900. It's a good even number, that making a big move up to the 3045. So channeling through here, rolling up to this next peak level, 2750, maybe 2785 is ideally where I think we're going to move in this next phase. Then we're going to roll down, find support, maybe 2650, maybe 2680, about where we're at right now. And then we're going to roll back up into this 2900, and then 30, 30, 30, 40 by November 25th to December 15th. So it's going to be pretty solid upward trending. Okay, last, let's go to Bitcoin. Bitcoin's up $639. What happened here? Okay, let's take a look here. There's our data. All right, so Bitcoin has got a little bit of a bounce going on here. Um, Nice to see, actually. That means we're holding up at support. You can see this 0.5 level here. We came right off of that level, rallied back up to the 382 level. To me, that's solid. That means we're trying to find support. And that means that more than likely what we're going to do is we're going to start moving into kind of a channeling base in this area, trying to move our way up and out. So maybe this isn't perfect. I'm just giving you an idea of what could happen. But now that we get into this basing mode within the 382, 50, and 618 level, I see that we channel into next week, probably into the 12th, let's see, 12th, 13th, 14th, roughly, right in this area, to try to see a move out of this channel, maybe around the 14th or 15th. And It could be very solid. So it could be a very solid rolling base setup here. But again, hard to argue. When we were back over here at 63, 66,000, I said that we were going to come back down to 60,000, maybe 59,000. And sure enough, we did. Now I'm going to tell you right now that Bitcoin's probably going to struggle in this area for the next 5, 6, 7 days, probably until the 11th or the 12th or the 13th minimum. Then we're going to start to see a base, maybe a bit lower, maybe down here at 59.4, 59 maybe, but we're going to see a base, start rolling out of it. And by about the 13th, 14th, I think we're going to be moving into an upward trend. And remember, we're likely going to come right up over into this area. I've drawn it many, many times. We're going to try to get out of this channeling resistance area. So the next upward move would be 64,500. Okay, guys, I'm going to work on a cup of coffee here and let you guys go over my analysis today. I'll leave you back over here with the ES chart and try to drag this over and over. I'll leave you right here. Remember, we are moving towards this rolling upward trend next week. So we're going to get a gap up higher. We're at 569, almost perfect right now. Gap up and then trending slightly downward today, in my opinion. We are looking at a down, up, down. So I don't expect much today. I expect we're going to slide into the end of the day fairly flat in the markets, not seeing too much news, unless something else happens that I'm unaware of. But again, just kind of ride out where we're at and maybe look for a couple of call options near the end of the day, carrying out 2, 3, 4 days into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because I think by Tuesday, Wednesday, we could be looking at a peak, possibly up into this area. So that would be move if we do end here and we do move to here. That's almost a 2% rally going into early next week by, say, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay, guys, talk to you later. Go get some.